At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Our first carry for the All-Pro running back, it's Josh Jacobs. And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Alex Highsmith there on the tackle.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now a 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, zero, nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Play action this time with Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Here's Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The kick by McManus is good, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead.
And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Here's Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? What the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Got his man. It's Warren.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run with a 2nd-round pick from April's draft. And he will have a Steelers 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Lucas Van Ness getting free there to bring him down.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Throwing. Love. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Here's Jacobs from the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd down and 4.
Love. Slant route, he's got Downs. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reed.
And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Here's Jacobs. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was, because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
One more time with Jacobs. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Love, this is 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Packers!
Romeo Doubs.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers are able to widen their advantage.
They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead grows to 10-0.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 4. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Now, we all know that an offensive coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the 2nd quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a 1st down.
Rodgers going to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers looking for Austin, intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Play fake. Here's Love. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Down the left sideline. He may go. DK Metcalf. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf. 94 yards. And the Steelers have cut it back within a score. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Love looking to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Second and a couple. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Love.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On play action. Love to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
T.J. Watt coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down. It's a loss of 5.
Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your third-grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
A short throw to Musgrave.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Love now. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Here's Daniel Whelan now.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And another drive starts with them huddling in their end zone, Charles. Where have we seen this before? Very recently, but the last time they had it backed up like this, they took it the length of the field.
Hard to do that once, let alone the idea of doing it twice. But, of course, that's the goal. So, as a secondary deal, get 2 first downs. Help yourself with field position and help your defense out.
Great stop by Devontae Wyatt, breaking through the line and stopping it cold.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Up the middle, Johnson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Well, now what do? Do you run it again? Didn't have success there, or do you throw it?
Yeah, I think in play action right now. Fake it and get a quick pass to your favorite receiver and just try and gain some yardage and help out your punter.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
On play action, Rodgers.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. Yeah, he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. Now Rodgers. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start this drive out on the ground. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
To throw now. Here's Love. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Here's Love. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Second down and a yard. Back to throw. Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
To the air again, Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by McManus is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to air it out deep for Woods.
That is incomplete.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. A give up the middle to Johnson.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Boswell's kick is good, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, You'll see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
At their own 27. The tight end in motion right. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Play action this time with Love.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Love from the gun on 3rd down.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Throwing. Love. Caught on the right side. Reed. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down. Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Love.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. The defense was dialed into the pass. They overlooked the draw play.
And how often do we talk about the oldies are still goodies? Because that draw play comes straight from Coach Paul Brown's playbook, going all the way back to the original Cleveland Browns.
Out to the left here to Reed. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
To throw again on second down. Love. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Operating from the gun, Love. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Josh Jacobs takes it in from a yard out, and the Packers are able to extend their lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point from McManus is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Steeler offense set to regain possession.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
It's a nice completion, and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, there's something we haven't seen much of in this game, a really nice run. Do they decide to come back with it, or was that just a little flash, and maybe they continue to try and throw the ball?
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
Johnson on the counter. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
The first down carry here for Johnson.
Down to about the 37. Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the 2nd half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20+. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Love, they go play action now.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. On now is the Packers punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Here's Austin. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The busy night continues for Johnson. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Here's Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh 1st.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Looking deep here for Dobbs.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 53 yards.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, fourth quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
Love looking to throw it. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Jacobs going to try the middle.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And I think there defensively, they were so intent on stopping the run that they kind of got caught out of position. This is just a simple pitch and catch for a 1st down.
Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the fourth quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter-punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
McManus's point after is good, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Rodgers.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Here's Johnson, and he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. So they couldn't get anything there, Charles. Now fourth down from their own 2, and a bad situation, to be frank, for the special teams.
Yeah, if you are the punting team now, your number one thing is protect the punter, because you got to think they may actually come after him trying to get a big play.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one possession. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are right back in this football game.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
55 yards rushing now as he's done it on 22 carries.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers.
That's complete to his tight end flyer move.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5.
They go to Johnson again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4.
Now Rodgers, got to have this one.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop.
Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10
at the 40.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down 27-20, a little under a minute 50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Back to throw, Rodgers. That's to Freiermuth. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Here comes second down at 5.
Now Rodgers.
Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understanding where they are on the field?
To throw is Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
That's going to be caught. It's Austin.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. First and 10.
Rodgers to throw.
Austin is there and brings in another one.
And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That can finish things off for them.
And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now third down as the clock runs.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
So it's the Steelers who will have the first chance to go down and score here in overtime as we are back underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line. Now a first throw here in overtime.
Short throw, he's got Kraft.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Short throw, he's got Kraft.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Completed out left to Dobbs.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. They'll run right here with Jacobs. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
On now is the Packers punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line.
That's complete to Dobbs.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Off the play fake, Love.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Love from the gun on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big 1st down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that 1st down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. So no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Love completes it again to Dobbs.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. To the air again, Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Here's Love. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Love now. That's to Kraft, the tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Again, it's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
You want to put together a long drive? You've got to be able to convert on 3rd down, and they've done exactly that on this one. Sure enough, came up with another conversion right there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs, and he'll be taken down at the 34. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 90 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
And the defense is going to let him think about it a little as they use their 2nd timeout here. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And there'll be some happy cheeseheads tonight as the Packers have won the game. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.